Hello. Check, check, check. Okay, welcome. We are live now. Sorry about that. I was just checking out at edit like a first trial. It's pretty good. Are you still here, guys? Okay. Yeah, there is sound now. Okay, sounds working. Should be here. No sound. I can see. There's a little bit of a delay. I can see. Look, all of your comments. Let me get them out in here. Where are we? Okay, there's a little bit of a delay in here, but can you hear me now? There we go. It's on now. Righty, this is going to be an interesting one. I'm quite excited. Sorry, I just wanted to jump there. Did you see the actual timer? I put extra couple of minutes on because there's a very interesting edit that we're doing on at the moment, and the editor was excited to show me the first ideas. It is quite funny. It's quite good. So, welcome again. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Tech Notice. Welcome to another Tech Notice Friday live stream. Today we're going to talk about another PC build plus other awesome deals and lots of interesting things. As you can see, there's some comments up there already. If you've got any, just let me know and then tag me at Tech Notice, because then when the comments go through, they go like orange for me, so I can easily see, okay, and then I can highlight it and get it up. What's happening, what's coming up? We're going to be looking at a dream PC build, what I would call it, my dream PC build, and I think a lot of you guys as well. But I wanted to save as much money as possible through the Black Friday deals, and I might be a little bit controversial to you guys. But regardless, we'll show you a dream PC build. Someone is saying that 96 gigabytes of RAM, $310 in Amazon AE. That is insanely cheap compared to the other prices that are out there. So I just lost this comment. Guys, we're gonna start the comments right now. Someone needed help with the PC parts and builds. If you want, I'll have to scroll down now. Oh, where is it? Where is it? So here, I'm planning a full AM4 build rather than AM5. Is it good? No. Around $700. I think going with AM5 is still better, just because sometimes AM4 parts are even more expensive, unless you're going to look for them used. So AM4 is not necessarily the best price point at this point, so I wouldn't recommend that. If you have any comments, let me know. Oh, pump up the volume, someone is saying. Thanks for the comment. Let me see what I can do. Okay, push it up a little bit there. Is that a little bit better? Hey. Okay. I just don't want to clip either. Just let me know if it's clipping or how does it look. So then, let me give you some disclaimers as well. There is no sponsors for this live stream. If you are purchasing any of, or through any of the links, through the links in the video description below, then I'll get a very small commission. There is no that, oh, I'll have to have some of this stuff in here to actually show you this, which is awesome. Newegg has got pretty cool deals on at the moment. We're going to be talking about that in a minute. Next week, we're going to be doing a lot of Amazon live streams as well for the best bang for buck and real deals. If you want to pick anything up, just stick around. There's going to be lots of live streams coming up. But also, like I mentioned, links in the video description below. And by the way, if you've noticed, I am through a little PC build here, halfway through. This is our Black Friday PC build. This video is going to go live next Friday during the Black Friday. Every single part in here is on a deal. So this is a little selection, what's it called? Trailer. What's coming up. As you can see, there's one massive thing missing over here. I bought the GPU, but Amazon tried to deliver it. I don't know. delivery man just thought I need a Wii and just didn't come because I've been here all day and I missed. So there should be GPU in there as well. Someone says, which laptop is that? There's two. There's one in here and there's one in there. The one laptop that I have in there has a keyboard like that. And then there's a different laptop in here. This is an amazing laptop. This is Asus ProArt P60, and that one over there is a ZenBook Duo. So this is the one with two screens, so I can see the stream and I can see the comments on the other. Oh yeah, because you can see there's a little bit of a screen in there. Righty. Ryzen 5500, 25060, B550M, 1 terabyte. What should I do? I think you shouldn't go with the AM4 socket and Ryzen 5 5500 because, firstly, that RTX 5060 is using PCIe Gen 5 interface. You've got PCIe Gen 4. Shouldn't be a massive issue, but regardless, I don't think that's that. But I wouldn't go with that one. Other than that, I think it's all right. Is the ProArt laptop suitable for gaming too? I see why not. But I'm not a gamer, so I don't really care. Okay, let's have a look at some of the best PC builds then. Feel free to kind of join in, comment, click on the links, ask questions, let me know anything. But I'm going to get through this a little bit differently. Firstly, we're going to be talking about the PC builds or the Dream PC. And previously, if you remember, we did the upgrades were later. This time, we're going to do the main PC later and then downgrades a little bit later. If your budget is $1,000, then check out the live stream 2 weeks ago. If your PC budget is $2,000, check out the live stream last week, and then you can find those deals. But right now, I'm a little bit off-centered. Let's go a little bit this way. That's a little bit better. And then let's get to it then. Okay, there we go. The cool 1986 VFX is saying Dream PC. Oh, we're getting to it now. We're getting to it now. And it's not small, but it's going to be pretty a Dream PC. So then, the CPU, and you might not agree with me, but I'm going with the Intel Core Ultra 9285K. And I'm coming from a creator's perspective, okay? I'm wanting this to have the things that creators want. I want fast performance, obviously. I want easy to cool. I want great support, stability. I want Thunderbolt 4 or 5. Okay, that might be very important for some of the creators. And that's why we're going with the Intel platform. I know it might be a little bit more controversial, let's say, that why would you go with Intel if AMD is better? AMD's done very well with their marketing recently. And all the reviews, everybody's received AMD very well. And I've got a very good relationship with AMD. I absolutely love those guys. I think they're doing amazing things. But in this case, we are going with the Intel Core Ultra and the Intel series. By the way, let me know if you saw the video that we did yesterday about the GPUs, because I've got good news for you. AMD got in touch and they said, hey, we're sorry that the 9000 series GPUs haven't got to you. We're going to send you the ones so we can finally test them. Hey, your comments actually made a difference. Thanks for commenting, and that shows that your engagement in this channel actually matters. The brands notice this. AMD watches the videos, Nvidia watches the videos, Intel watches the videos. So if you comment, they look at your comments and they're like, ooh, we gotta work with this. So make a lot of noise in the comments and then we can influence this a little bit. Is that cool? Yeah. Nice t-shirt, yes. But I should be wearing Lando t-shirt really, because I want Lando to win. That was last week's. I've done 2 weeks in a row with, you know, F1 t-shirts. I'm going to get to this comment in a minute, okay? But I'll leave it there so I'm not going to forget it, because I don't want to get a little bit too off track here. So this is why we're going with this one, because we can get Thunderbolt 5 and 4 with this one. If you want to expand or get anything that requires Thunderbolt, it's a lot more straightforward with the Intel platform. Next off, the motherboard. This is going to be the Asus ProArt Z890, and you might be saying, oh, it's so expensive. Why do you go with the Asus ProArt? Yeah. Actually, do you know what? For these features, it's a really, really good price. We want Thunderbolt. This one has Thunderbolt 5 and 4. And does it have 4 as well? Yeah, I think it does, yeah. Then we've got 10 gigabit Ethernet, plus 3 months for free Creative Cloud membership. And then apparently, if you're a gamer, you get free Star Wars Outlaws Gold Edition with the purchase. Whatever that is, 1 limit master key. Okay, whatever. So the Adobe Creative Cloud is maybe around $200-300 worth of price for free. So let's say 250 plus another 100. This motherboard is super affordable, so you get lots of goodies with it. If I want the same features, and we're gonna go with even the Hero here, okay, we're thinking, okay, $399. Look at that, this one here does not have 10 gigabit Ethernet. I mean, what? So you have to have extra card on. But then, when you're looking at the card slots in here, you might fit it underneath your GPU, but you might not. So it's a little bit of an annoying thing. And then you'll have to spend this much to get actually 10 gigabit Ethernet, but that is like twice the price. Okay, finally we get 10 gigabit Ethernet and, you know, Thunderbolt, but ProArt already offers this for you. Where is the ProArt here? There we go. We already have this, plus we got lots of free goodies with it. So voila, that's why we're going with this one. By the way, if you're enjoying this video right now, hey, hit that like button. I can see you there. That like button actually makes a difference. 18 likes. Come on, we can get this up right now. If you're watching this live, give it a like. It helps to spread to other people so they can see this as well. I'll move on to the next one. Let's talk about the cooling then. We've got Arctic Liquid Freezer 3 Pro. So the Pro is basically, you can't really buy the 3 without the Pro anymore. They updated the 3, so now it's Pro as well, basically better fans. And here's the thing, the 420mm AIO is better and cheaper. What? Yes, you heard it right. It is actually cheaper than the 360mm version. I mean, beats me. This is an absolutely amazing cooler, and because we're going with Intel platform, you get the free contact frame with it as well that suits the 1851 LGA socket compared as well as the 1700. So it's just absolutely amazing. As you can see, it's very good performance, but you see we're going with 420 millimeters. That puts us in a little bit of a tighter spot for PC cases. We'll get to that in a minute. In terms of the SSD, the operating system, 2 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade G5, the best SSD that you can buy in the world, according to my testing. What I've tested, this is just the best, okay? Hands down, it's amazing. It is a little bit of a deal there, and compared to 1 terabyte, you get pretty good deal. For extra $20, you get twice the capacity, so I would go with 2 terabytes rather than 1 terabyte, if that makes sense. Then for the secondary drive, we're going to go with the Samsung 9100 Pro 8 terabytes. This is actually on a pretty good deal right now. 8 terabytes Gen 5 storage, and because Intel upgraded the PCIe lanes on that platform with that motherboard, we get the secondary Gen 5 slot as well without losing any lanes to the GPU. So that's why we're going with the Gen 5 of the 8 terabytes of Samsung one, because if you look at any Gen 4, they're not that much cheaper. Have a look at that. So if we go 8 terabytes, I'm going to show you this in the downgrades. You'll see, you'll only save, I don't know, a little bit. But the performance will be so much worse. But this is pretty impressive. Then, oh, this is painful now. Okay, come on, comment away. We can handle it. Look at the pricing for this. It's pretty horrendous. Oh my goodness. 96 gigabytes of a DDR5 6800 megatransfers per second. I've got a feeling we can get it running with the Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. But the thing is, this RAM should not cost that much. At most, it should be maybe $400 or $500. So it's gone kind of twice the price. It is absolutely horrendous. I mean, why is it that whenever we're trying to build a PC, there's something that's spiked? Either GPU shortage, power supply shortage, we've got DRAM shortage, SSD shortage. I mean, what the heck? What's next? PC case shortage? I don't think that's never going to be an issue, is it? Or is it? This is expensive and it is overpriced, but at the same time, I'm going with 96 gigabytes, so 2 of these. So later on, I can add even more to get it to 192 gigabytes if you need it. But you just gotta pull the trigger. Just gotta pull the trigger. MSI. Oh, someone says I've never touched Team Group. I have used that Team Group RAM. I have 128 gigabytes, but it is, I think it's 6400 that T-Create Expert on our editing PC. It's working there at the moment, not a single problem. And I'm using this on the 13900K platform. By the way, I should upgrade really, shouldn't I? Since we're running this PC channel, I should upgrade my editor's PC. Oh, we've got to the GPU already. We're going with this MSI Supreme 5090 Liquid, Supreme Liquid. So this is 5090, obviously. I don't think I need to do an introduction for that, but it's liquid cooled. And if you've paid close attention, we have reached the point where you're like, which case are you going to be using to fit everything in there? You'll see that in a minute. But this is an amazing GPU that offers amazing looks, performance. It's just so good. I mean, it's good, okay? For a creator to get that type of performance is amazing. We just need that, okay? At this price point, it's a dream PC. We just need a 5090. Anything below that is not gonna, it's just not gonna be in even a conversation. There is a downgrade option that you can check out in the links in the description below if you want to, but I found this is on a deal a little bit. There is a Zotac version as well, okay? And Zotac version is, I think, $50 or $70 cheaper. 5090 Arctic Storm. I'll show you, 2849. And this is, yeah, okay, $50 cheaper. The reason why I didn't go with this one, but I went with MSI one, is because this one comes with RGB fans, and the fans, I've done the test on the channel, the RGB fans, they're like all one block. So if you need to change those fans, it's just not going to be happening. You just have to all do them separately. It's all like a little bit more into their ecosystem. But if you want, something like that, wait a second. Solid is $2,000. Okay, if you want to save yourself just an $800, go with this one. You don't need the OC version. Believe me, you're not going to notice the difference for extra $300. Just get this one. Okay, that's amazing price point. For $2,000, I did not know this was even happening. Oh, it's out of stock. Well, there we go. But out of stock as well. So you're just going to have to go, is that? Oh yeah, out of stock as well. Only liquid cooled available. Voila. So that's the GPU. And then we need a power supply to power all of this. And for that, we're using a Superflower LeadX Titanium, a 1600 watt power supply. That's on a deal right now for $399. This is probably a power supply for life. I don't see why you should need another one. It is ATX 3.1 and PCIe 5.1 compatible, which means that it's just good. Also, you get $20 new egg gift card after this, and some extra fans that you can use if you wanted to. You can get push and pull configuration for your GPU. Just use these. These fans, by the way, are 30 millimeters thick. They're pretty good fans, but it's like a beast of a power supply, okay? A 10-year warranty is just something that you're not gonna need another one, and it's on a deal. It's very hard to find these on a deal that are titanium power efficiency, because our power draw for our system is very, very high. We're gonna be actually using quite a lot of energy, quite a lot of power, electricity. So that's why if we have a power supply that is very efficient, we're gonna save the more money in the long run. It's gonna be more efficient, better components, all that sort of jazz. So then it comes to the point where you're like, okay, which case are you gonna put them all in? Because we need to, fit it all somewhere. 3, 2, 1. Voila. Alan Jacob says hi from California. Hello. If you joined in live, you don't know what's happening, hit that like button. It does make a difference. Makes a huge difference, by the way. I appreciate all of your comments. It's all good. This is what we're going to be going with. It's a little bit of a cliche now on the channel, the Arctic fractal design. Sorry, not Arctic. Fractal design, but it is beautiful case, and this is the XL variant. Make sure you don't go with the non-XL variant, because the non-XL will just not fit in all of the stuff that we want. In the front, you can fit 420 millimeter radiator. On the top, we can put 360 millimeter radiator. So the CPU radiator will go in the front, and then the GPU radiator will go in the top. And that's how we're going to fit this. There is a little fan upgrade that I want to do as well, but it's just nice. We're going to go with the black and gold version and make it a little bit just dark, stealth, like kind of minimalistic from the outside, but then on the inside, ooh, there's like a beast, okay? And then let's talk about the fans, which are these ones here. I don't know why Newegg hasn't got them in the store already, but one second. There they are. There they are. Look at that. They have Chromax Black available as well now. So these are the fans that I'm looking at there live on the computer. Okay, these fans. They are the 140 millimeter fans, upgraded design, better airflow, better static pressure, best fans in the world, still 25 millimeters. I'm going to replace these on the AIO in the front of the case that blows the air through. We're going to put 6 of these on, so push and pull configuration, because I wanted to pull in the cold air from there, but then also push it through to get airflow inside the system so that it would actually exhaust through our GPU airflow in there and then over our components and everything. If I don't have that, it's just through the radiator, there's not going to be that much airflow. So that's that. And if you want to get the 12 centimeter ones or 120 millimeter ones, then there we go. They are now Chromax Black available as well as, where shall I put these? This, the NHD 15 G5. Voila. Well, it looks like they're not going with all of the different versions of this. The non-black one had like an AMD and then an Intel version, like concave and all of that. I think they just made it simple and just put the normal one. They might just kind of silence all the other ones, but best air cooler in the world, now in black available. Thanks, Nocto, for sending these over, by the way. Yes, they did release the black fans. Okay, they are... Oh, what's going on? Yes, they're available. I don't know why they're available on Newegg, but Noctur's released them. I've seen other people talk about them already online, so I don't know. I look like Christian Horner. It's more like Christmas Horner. Max has been great. I mean, I'm going to be riding the horses and some women, but I can't talk about it. That's not how Christian Horner sounds like, by the way. What does that mean? Build me one of your French builds. What does that mean? So then, someone asked about the Apple Silicon. Let's comment. The comment's gone now. I can't find it. What do I think about Apple Silicon? I think it's very interesting. I think it's really cool. I think Apple's doing very interesting stuff. In terms of portability, there is like nothing that can beat a MacBook Pro 16-inch M4 Max in terms of on-the-go battery life. The P16 is amazing, and when plugged in, it can absolutely beat it in certain aspects. But then it comes like, okay, operating system, Windows versus Mac OS. Honestly, there's some of the things I just like a lot more on Windows. Map network drives, the way folders and file systems works. There's no like hidden stuff that Mac just puts in it somewhere where you can't find them. I think that's like nicer on Windows. Window snapping, and I feel like multitasking on Windows is a lot better, but you know, that's that. Let me know. I expected the Asus ProArt, someone is saying. Here's the thing. The Asus ProArt case, the PA602, we're using that case, but there's one problem. The Liquid Freezer 3 has a thicker radiator, and it's 300, I think it's like 30 millimeters thick, don't quote me on that, maybe even more. But the thing is, that radiator won't fit on the ProArt PA602. On the top, you can only put the radiators with the normal thickness of the fan, like of the radiators, and that's why it's going to go on the top. But, you know, that's that. So there is Intel 265KF, Corsair 96 GB of RAM, Asus RTX 5070, Crucial P510 SSD, and Cyberro said 828. What do you think about it? I think it's good. If you can stretch from 5070 to 5070 Ti, that's like a huge, there's like a big jump in there because extra VRAM, double encoders. So if you're doing any creative work, that 5070 Ti is a huge jump. Don't go with 5080. Have a look at last week's build, but that's that. Do you think I will drive deeper into NAS systems? I mean, what would you like to know? I quite like NASs. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 NAS systems, 6. I think they're amazing. They really are amazing. Right. This build now, just guess what we just built. How much is that now different? What's the price, total price point for that PC? Guess now. Maybe you just quickly already, you know, summed it up, what you've seen on the screen, the Newegg listings, but what do you think? How much is that gonna set you back? Someone is saying, I'm still waiting for the price now. Guess the pricing. The RAM speed for Ultra 200S is 6400 official, or 6800, I think, with the Intel Boost. No, 8400. Intel Boost profile RAM speed. What was it again? I can't. 8,000 Yankee Doodles. 8,000. Okay. So let's see the prices. Anyone saying the price? The crazy RAM prices. Yes. but I think crazy RAM prices aren't as bad as crazy GPU prices. So I would rather have crazy crazy RAM prices than GPU prices, if that makes sense. So the answer to this one is welcome to Windows, where 16 gigabytes is not enough. Basically, just running the operating system will always use 50% of RAM. Okay, you just kind of need about 8 gigabytes just to idle. And then you've got another 8 for something else. So, yeah, it's welcome to Windows. So the price for all of this PC is setting us back, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, boom, $6,377. And you're thinking, dude, like what in the actual, who has that type of price? Then we're going to put it in perspective, right? There's a lot of parts in here that are for creators, and you're thinking about the Workstation. Okay, how good is it? What other options are there? You could go at that point. We're getting absolutely amazing system, and some might say, hey, let's go to Apple. Okay, what about Apple's performance? Now, let me go to Mac Studio. Yes, I agree with this one. Absolutely agree with that comment. What can you upgrade your 5600 CPU to? Listen, if you don't have money, just don't upgrade. You don't need to upgrade. Then, wait a second, what's going on here? Why is it gone weird? Okay, Mac Studio, what would be comparable for this 6,400? Let's say 6,400. Here's the thing, M4 Max, here, the CPU is gonna be beat out by the Core Ultra CPU. Let me just double check something, because I'm gonna give you these live benchmarks live. So if we've got this here, okay, 2, and then here, this, where is the Core Ultra? Yeah, quite a bit. So we're about 20% better in terms of the CPU performance, potentially even more. The single core performance is slightly slower, okay, but it doesn't really matter that much. So our CPU performance will be somewhere around there. Here's the thing, the M3 Ultra with 28 core CPU, that will be better actually, I suppose. But in terms of GPU, we're still so much better. So if we want the GPU performance, we kind of have to go like there, and look at that, we're already quite high. But we're gonna do M4 Max right now. In terms of memory, obviously we've got 96 gigabytes, so let's go with 128 gigabytes. Storage, do you remember how much storage we had? We have so much faster storage than this one. So we can add this one on the top there. And as you can see, we are at 5,800 and we still don't have enough storage. And our GPU is going to be so much better. And if you want to get this in there, okay, with 96 gigabytes of that, look at that, that is more expensive there with 8 terabytes of SSD storage. Extra 1,000 and our GPU is still going to be better than the best of Apple. It's just nowhere even close. What do you mean? What's wrong with that logic? Like, you don't need to upgrade, okay? You just... That's how you can... Okay, someone became a fan. Red Cosmonaut 863. Thanks for tuning in. So, is your question about Apple and Mac? Are you on Apple and Mac? Is that what the question is? External enclosure worth it for the trade-off of ruggedness and traveling with? There's some absolute solid external ones, so there we go. Am I a believer? Do I believe in Apple? Well, does it actually make sense? Well, they've got pretty good track record of their stuff. Workstation PC is more suitable. I agree. At the same time, it's very hard for me to justify that cost, but I really would like to try having a Mac Studio workstation and then have it side by side with like a workstation that we've built, and then see if it actually can be comparable and if we can get a better performance on Mac Studio, because it's just so expensive. Like, I need to put down like 7-8 grand or something like that, and we need to find a sponsor who could help us with that. So what would be alternative in a Mac platform? It would be kind of the M4 Max platform in there, yet your PC will be better, the GPU will be better. So this is a gaming PC. I can see straight away. If I see X3D CPU, gaming PC. My thoughts? I'm not a gamer, so I wouldn't go with this one. You've got pretty fast RAM. It's pretty insane. T210, I don't know what that is. Is that crucial? I mean, it seems mint. I just think if you're doing creative tasks, the CPU is a bit weak. Are you saying USB 4, or do you mean Thunderbolt 4? Do I know anything about the PC Specialist laptops, if they are any good? There are lots of like custom little laptop manufacturers, but I'm not a big fan of them, just because they have to use parts that are available already manufactured in factories. They're not making their own designs, which means the laptops will just be a little bit bigger and not as thought through in some ways. Yeah, so either, yes, there will be a huge performance difference, because it's if you go Gen 4, or actually the maximum, yeah, I think it is. Gen 4, Thunderbolt 5, in the end, it will work better, just because the random read and write speeds will be better on a Gen 4 compared to Gen 3 drives. But then also, if you're uploading a lot of files, I don't know like how you're doing, or like how you're ingesting files, what you're working on. I think it is worth it. Thoughts on Linux? Don't really know. Gaming, Adobe Suite and Blender. Well, I wouldn't go with that CPU. I just think go with Intel Core Ultra 265K and that platform. I don't know what motherboard you're using, but you'll have a lot better like bang for your buck than this one. Okay, let's talk about now the downgrades. what should we do with if you don't have $6,000, okay? Because not everybody has. This is a dream PC. Someone can drop $6,000 on it. Most people can't. And so let's do a little bit of something for, you know, a bit more affordable. Can we use the stream machine for editing? Sure. I don't think this is a sweet spot, but the good news is AMD watched the video, so we should be getting the AMD GPUs in finally, and then we can finally test them. Righty. Let's talk about then the downgrades, shall we say? How can you save some money? And then do you know what? Let's start with pricing at first. If you go with some of the downgrades, no, wait a second, something's wrong in here. We're gonna have to do some of that plus that. Seriously, is that really? Did I really get it half? No, that's not adding up. I'm gonna have to do this now. 6377.92 minus how is this possible? So, okay, this is the sum of that. That is the sum of that plus okay. Oh no. Yeah, okay. It makes sense. Sorry, there we go. So, we're talking about the upgrades or downgrades really. And there are a few downgrades how you can save $3,493 and get the PC for less than $3,000. So if your budget is somewhere around there, it's going to be very, very nice of a sweet spot for you. And for that, we're getting a really nice PC. So we're going to be downgrading the CPU to Ultra 7 265K. There is maybe 10-15% difference. I'm being rough a little bit. You still get your Intel free game with it if you're a gamer, voila. But we save a couple $100, $200 and something. Then for motherboard, we're going with the Z890 Aorus Master because we're still getting, look at that, Thunderbolt and 10 gigabit Ethernet. This is a little bit of a kind of interesting one. If you don't pay for Adobe Creative Cloud membership, then you know this might be all right for you as a creator. If you pay for Creative Cloud Pro, it might be better, just ends up being cheaper if you add up all the pricing together what this is. But it's a pretty good price for that point. Thunderbolt, 10 gigabit Ethernet. There's no Thunderbolt 5 though, but regardless, we're getting pretty decent motherboard here for a very good price. Plus you get another game here if you're a gamer. Happy days, happy holidays. We're going to be downgrading our Kingston Fury Renegade G5 to the SK Hynix Platinum P51. So not 2 terabyte SSD anymore, but just 1 terabyte. So we've gone down a little bit of a capacity for the operating system and programs, but regardless, this should be enough for what we're doing. Still Gen 5, very good pricing for 1 terabyte. I'm still surprised that this is still on. It's not sold out deal because it's amazing. It is slightly slower, but still a lot faster than Gen 4. That's why we're going with this one. And then our 8 terabyte Samsung 9100 Pro or 9100 Pro SSD, 8 terabytes, we're going to be downgraded to get this one. And as you can see, that was $740 or $50. So roughly around $70, $80 now we've saved with this, which kind of means that perhaps it's not worth it saving that much money and going with the Gen 5 instead, if you can. So, but we're trying to save as much as possible, and sometimes you might find a good deal on this, so that's why we're going with this. And I did find a pretty okay deal for RAM, and I don't think this is going to last very long, so be quick. This is Patriot Viper Venom, 64 gigabytes and 6,000. So this is now, we're saving $500 on RAM. Yes, it is 32 gigabytes less, is that? Yeah. Yeah, 32 gigabytes less, but still a good speed spot, 6,000. Yes, it's a little bit less in terms of speed, but for creative professionals, honestly, it does not make a difference whatsoever. But we're saving a ton of money with going with this one. Check it out while stock lasts. I know, the RAM is a good price. Now, for the GPU, you guessed it right. We're going with the RTX 5070 Ti, and that sets us back $749. This is really good price for this. It's basically a 5080 that goes for $1,000, something like that. It's very minimal price difference, but performance difference, but a massive price difference. It's a really good GPU. I can already see that the MSI 5070 Ti was all sold out, so I don't see that anymore there. Hit it while stock lasts, because I can promise you it's probably going to be sold out as well very, very, very soon. And then for the power supply, we're going with 1200 watt, not 600 watt, and to 80 plus gold, so it's a little bit less. ATX 3.1 and PCIe 5.1 still, which is very, very good. We get 10 years of warranty. Again, very, very good option, but a ton cheaper. We're saving a couple of $100 there on this. It's not as power efficient, so we're putting less money out at first, but then, or putting less money down at first, but then over the years, this will use more electricity somewhat than the other one. But I think this is still better value. And that's going to take us now to about $3,000. And we still put this into the Fractal North case. We didn't change the GPU. We didn't change, sorry, the CPU cooling. The GPU we did change. And that's going to be around 2.8, just under $3,000. And it's insane machine. 1 terabyte of operating system, 8 terabytes of secondary and Gen 4 storage. In fact, you can have under $3,000 still Gen 5, 8 terabytes of project drive. That would be insane. So I can't downgrade the GPU. I can. I just did. We've gone from 5090 to 5070 Ti. I think the 5080 is just it just kind of does not make sense as much. Ian, nice to see you live. Hello. Ian, my man. Ian takes some sick pictures of drifting and car shows. Shameless plug. Go check out his Instagram. What do I think about Vetro PSU? It's a bit like, what do you think about supermarket fuel, diesel? Should be okay, I guess. I hope that answers the question there. So, I'm going to take a few more questions. Again, remember, there's no sponsor for this live stream. Use the links in the description below if you want to pick anything up. But I wanted to do a few live streams where I can give feedback of where I've put down a PC build. You can kind of configure it in the description below. All the links are intercompatible. You can, I want to have the higher CPU, but I'll downgrade the GPU. Just, you can build it around a little bit. But every single upgrade kind of makes sense. And I took the non-upgradable GPU and CPU parts out. So let me show you what this is. Here, where are we? Live stream, boom. So if you are going here in the description below, you can see recommended options and then downgrade options. All of them are intercompatible. Highly recommend going with these ones. The fans are missing from there because I couldn't find their RAM, not the RAM, the fans, because I couldn't find Noctua fans anywhere. Best photo laptop under 2K is the M4 Pro. Can you get the M4 Pro for 2K? Let me do this now. Yes, you can. On Amazon, Apple MacBook Pro, is it 14 inch, 16 inch? 14 inch. M4 Pro is the best laptop you can buy for photo editing. Absolutely insane, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's have a look at this. This is the one for you. M4 Pro, $1,700. Just start using Lightroom and Photoshop, and you'll see what I mean. It is, and then the battery life is still like okay. You can literally take it anywhere with you. It's absolutely amazing. If you have a bit of cash, try to up. Oh, why is it gone so high now? Oh, it's got M4 Max. Yeah, there we go. So you get a little bit more internal storage with this one. I know it's 24 gigabytes of that, but it is just over $2,000. Extra $100, I know, but I mean, it is a ripoff. Look at that. For extra, does it upgrade the CPUs as well? Yes, it does. Okay, so it kind of is. So your CPU gets upgraded and GPU gets upgraded as well. So you get extra cores with the 500 gigabyte SSD upgrade as well, and that is slightly over $2,000. That's what I would go. I bought M1 Max 64 gigabyte RAM, $1,000. M5 64 gigs, right? Yeah, it's quite all right. Which brand of GPU do you suggest in 5070 Ti, 5080? Any. Like literally just buy any 5070 Ti, Asus, MSI, Gigabyte, Zotac, PNY, anything you find is fine. Honestly, not a difference whatsoever. So what are the difference between PC for creators and a PC for regular use or gaming or AI and CUDA? So there's a lot of different questions. There's lots of different workflows in there. So a creator, let's say who does video, 3D, animation, maybe some design, they require a little bit more powerful of a CPU in terms of multi-core compared to like gaming. Gaming, you can go with the 9800X3D, there's 8 cores, it's gonna be fine. But then the likes of 5600, so 265K Intel, which is cheaper, but actually performs better on pretty much every single creative tasks. So that's that. So gaming, you require better GPU, not so fast of a CPU, doesn't matter as much, GPU, better budget. And for AI, again, you need more GPU. I don't hate Gigabyte. I love Gigabyte brands. They've got amazing motherboards. They've got really cool GPUs. For some reason, I don't have as much Gigabyte GPUs on the channel. I don't know why, but it just happened like that. But I've got no problem recommending Gigabyte GPUs. They're good. Right, last questions, and then I'm gonna end this stream. Check out the links in the video description below. How much do you pay for the 12900K? Because that 12900K, I think 12900K for the same price point, you could go with Core Ultra 265K. Absolutely not. New 5060 Ti. Seasonic. If I'm not mistaken, Seasonic makes the power supplies for ASUS. But don't quote me on that. Okay, I just want to say thank you everybody for watching. If you're still here, I'd appreciate if you hit that like button. It actually makes a difference, makes the video spread to more people who might need some advice and find like the best PC to build for this. Check out the links in the video description below if you want to pick anything up, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much guys for watching. Have a nice weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.